Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with day 10 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life series 18. And today's sketch is by Francis West. And I believe that it has a bunch of squares turned into triangles. I'm going to make a little alteration. I'm documenting a couple of pictures of me and my lovely friend Zelly. And I am using Obed Marshall's, I have 3 of his collections all together. And so this is a little bit of everything. And then I have a black background paper. I'm already pulled like a title and a bunch of other wordy bits. There are tags and a couple embellishments in here. Lots more wordy bits in here. So I have my papers, I have my embellishments, I have my pictures, and I have the sketch. So let's see how this goes. So in this sketch, it has a bunch of squares on a page, and then that's turned into triangles. I didn't want to do that because geometry and I don't get along, and I really wanted to use Obed Marshall for this layout. And so, and I have lots of paper, but not all of them cooperate together because it's 3 different collections, and some of them are very bold colors, and then some of them are more like this aquas, light blues, things like that. So I'm going to get all 4 of these pieces down, and I'm not happy. I don't like how wonky, like I wasn't intending on them being even or making a nice lovely little line like an X in the page or anything like that. My plan was kind of like she has on that sketch, like to have a bigger space on one side and a smaller space on the other, but it just didn't look right to me, so I cut it all out, but I kept a line of black so it would give that drastic difference. And then I'm going to put it back on this white paper. So my original plan was to put it on white, changed my mind, decided to go with black, and then did the black, messed it up, cut it out, and put it on white. So, there you go. But I do love the way that it turns out in the end. Again, I was not intending on it being perfect and laid out. Like, I kind of really wanted it to be a little bit on the wonky side because, well, Zelly and I are very wonky people, but I didn't want it to be crooked and have a bigger gap here, there, or the other. And it does end up with a bit of a wonky gap here between the camera paper and that little speech bubble paper. So I'm going to fix that in the best way possible, covering it up with the picture. So it's a little thinner at the top right corner and a little thicker in the middle. But I'm just going to cover that, which is kind of the way the sketch has it anyway. And I think she really only has 3 triangles on there, but I do spend quite a bit of time aligning the pictures because I want them to look like we are making, the little heart together. Which is pretty impressive because it didn't tell her what I was doing. I just told her I wanted her to send me a picture on Snapchat of her doing her half of the heart. And then I made my own based off of where hers was. So I think that we did a pretty good job considering I didn't tell her what I was doing. Zelly is a friend that I found through scrapbooking. She's been following me on YouTube for a while and has commented on videos in the past, but about a year and a half ago, maybe almost 2 years ago, she commented on a video that I did of my favorite show called Heartstopper. And she said, I was so interested in this show, because you talked about it. I've watched it and I love it. And so she and I started talking about that. And then it's just kind of spiraled from us talking on Instagram to being on Snapchat. And now I think it's been most every day this year that we have back and forth on Snapchat multiple times a day. Good mornings, good evenings, how you doing? Just kind of running our mouth about new products and stuff. But we have gotten to where we talk about our friends, our family, our work. We gripe and complain about this, that, and the other. We laugh about all sorts of stuff. I mean, we spend a lot of time chit-chatting back and forth, mostly through Snapchat. So, but it's become one of those friendships where I look forward to hearing from her and worry about her when I haven't, and vice versa. And so I'm just grateful to have found scrapbooking has brought me a lot of really, really special friends, and I'm really grateful for that. It's always brought me joy in mental health, but it was always like a personal thing. Like nobody that I really know scrapbooks anymore. My sister is the one who started me, and then she quit. And so none of the people in like my personal life, well, I have a couple of friends who scrapbook off and on, but not like crazy like I do. And so finding friends in this community and having people to talk to, not just about scrapbooking, but about everything else, has been a true joy for me. And so I definitely count Zelly as one of those scrappy friends who has turned into more than just a scrappy friend. And I'm just grateful for that in this community, because it has just led, to so many lovely things. So I did not have a lot of embellishments to go with this collection, except tags and a bunch of wordy things. So there's lots of words on this layout. And so I wanted to get, all these different words and wordy bits and things on here. But also, I wanted to do something where they have the flowers in the cluster in the bottom left corner of the pictures and the top right of the pictures. And I just pulled out all these tags. I started going through my stuff. I realized there's a ton of tags in this collection. And so I pulled out, I don't know how many I have on here, like 6, 7. And I just stick them on there. And I love the way that this looks and turned out. I fussy cut that radio out of a little like cut apart and put that on here. But other than that, there's really not any embellishments. Most of it is just tags. And then I add little hearts in some places, and I covered all the tag holes with my enamel dots. Thank you. And then it needs a journaling space, so I put a journaling space on here. It's got that little camera on it, which is the same cameras that are up on that paper, so it brings it all together. And I just wrote, I would never have guessed a YouTube comment would turn into a friendship I cherish so much. And that is so very, very true. I am very grateful for our friendship, like I said. And I'm super excited that this layout turned out, because it was starting to look disastrous for a minute there. But I hope you'll go check out everybody who's hopping along with 30 Days of Sketches. There is a playlist, lots of fun inspiration. I'll be interested to see if other people actually do like the squares that cut into triangles. I even warned Zelly. I said, I'm doing this layout, but I don't like geometry, so please don't be mad that it's not exactly like the sketch. So, but anyway, Zelly, I love you, and I am grateful and thankful for our friendship, and I hope that it continues for a long, 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 long time. I would love it if you all would give me a thumbs up if you like my video and or my layout. And I appreciate y'all spending time with me. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a great day. I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love, and happy scrapping.